Find the gifts they love for less and gift to the max.
Jake Gyllenhaal takes the Colbert Questionnaire and Taraji P. Henson. New tonight.
Car bombs exploded outside the U.S. embassies in Nairobi and Dar es Salaam.
Everything smelled burnt and dead. Al-Qaeda's first major attack against the West.
14 photographs of people we thought were involved. We will not stop until we get each and every one of you.
It's preseason winter here in the UP. I'll show you which Upers may get a Wednesday morning workout shoveling snow. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
It is very cold out tonight and still very windy. Ariane, tell us about those weather alerts too.
Well, I've been tracking them this evening and checking out the models. As you can see behind me, we've got some precipitation mostly along that northeast coast, especially Alger County, where the brunt of our snowfall is going to be expected. But as Sarah mentioned, winter weather advisories here for Alger all the way to Chippewa counties. That ends at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Expect very slick roads, especially as we've got temperatures dropping and some accumulation expected. I'll have more details after the break.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is in the U.S. asking for billions of dollars in new military assistance in its war against Russia. But as Skylar Henry reports from Washington, Republicans and Democrats are far from seeing eye to eye on the issue.
With the second anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine fast approaching, President Biden is urging Congress to approve more aid to help Ukraine in its fight against Russia.
Ukraine will emerge from this war proud, free, and firmly rooted in the West unless we walk away. Ukrainian
President Volodymyr Zelensky spent the day in Washington, making the case for more funding as he met with the president and congressional leaders.
No one but Putin wants a prolonged war. We dream of a Christmas in a peacetime, of course, and we are working to turn our battlefield success into peace.
Congressional Republicans have been demanding that renewed military aid to Ukraine and Israel be tied to securing the U.S. southern border, amid a record number of illegal crossings in recent weeks.
Our first condition on any national security supplemental spending package is about our own national security first.
Holding Ukraine funding hostage in the attempt to force through an extreme Republican partisan agenda on the border is not how it works.
Democrats are pushing for an agreement before lawmakers begin their holiday recess.
They say it's an emergency at both the border and in Ukraine. You don't go home for 3 weeks.
The Biden administration, meanwhile, announced a new package of up to $200 million worth of arms and equipment for Ukraine to be drawn down from U.S. stockpiles.
President Biden and his national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, will travel to the Middle East next week to meet with top Israeli defense officials. Meanwhile, the UN General Assembly today overwhelmingly voted to demand a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Rami Incenencio reports tonight from Tel Aviv. We do want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see is graphic and could be disturbing.
Tonight, an Israeli airstrike killed nearly 10 people and wounded dozens more, rushed in the darkness to a hospital. The bombs hit a few hundred yards from CBS News producer Marwan Al-Ghul, who was sheltering in one of the so-called safe zones of the southern Gaza Strip.
Netanyahu, what do you say? Is the place is safe? You must go to Rafah as a safer place. Nowhere is it safe.
In Rafah, different generations are mourning the loss of their families' futures after intense Israeli strikes into this morning killed at least 20 people, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. The Israeli military is consolidating control in the north, demolishing a UN school allegedly used by Hamas in Beit Hanun. Israeli soldiers cheering. Israel's defense minister says fighting may still last for months, but U.S. pressure is rising for Israel to end its offensive sooner. New pressure is also rising against Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, with anger growing over an alleged decade-long agreement in which Qatar sent up to $30 million in cash to Hamas every month. a strategy known as buying quiet.
They knew that the money was going directly into purchasing of rockets and building of tunnels.
Why didn't they stop the money?
Obviously, this concept blew up in everybody's face on October 7th.
And tonight in Jerusalem, protesters braved the rain to march on the Knesset, demanding Netanyahu bring all hostages still in Gaza home and calling for his resignation.
He knew what Hamas is doing with this money. So he created some monster. Someday the monster came out.
And Israel's military has reportedly started to pump seawater into Hamas's tunnel complexes in order to destroy them. But there is a concern that hostages may be in some of them. But President Biden tonight says, quote, there are assertions being made that there are no hostages inside.
Meanwhile, distressing testimony on Capitol Hill as 4 women described to a Senate subcommittee the sexual abuse and harassment they endured at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy. They allege a systemic failure of leadership to protect them, which the military branch acknowledged in an internal report. Natalie Brand has more from Capitol Hill.
This hearing is about a culture of cover-up.
One by one, 3 women who attended the U.S. Coast Guard Academy and 1 current cadet detailed sexual misconduct at the prestigious institution.
No to him was an invitation to try again.
Academy senior Kira Holmstrup testified about her assault and harassment that followed.
I've seen the reporting process continue to re-victimize those who courageously come forward.
Retired Lieutenant Melissa McCafferty says she was repeatedly raped and explained why she was afraid to report it.
They don't care. They just want to make the next rank, and I have seen it in the fleet, at the academy, at the senior-most levels.
The hearing follows media reporting of a years-long investigation called Operation Fouled Anchor into allegations of dozens of sexual assaults and decades of mishandled reporting. Lawmakers were furious they were not notified of the probe.
That report was concealed, hidden, and withheld from the United States Congress.
It is accountability, it's exposure, it's naming and shaming. It's pretty obvious what has to be done.
For Caitlin Morrow, who left after 1 semester, it's too late.
My main perpetrator is currently a lieutenant commander in the Coast Guard. He is thriving in a career that I had hoped for.
In a report issued this month, the Coast Guard said change is necessary, calling for policies to ensure accountability related to sexual assault and harassment and increased oversight and better accountability at the academy.
In a statement issued after today's hearing, the Coast Guard applauded the courage of the hearing witnesses and apologized for failures and the harm caused. The statement urged all Coast Guard members, past and present, to report instances of sexual harassment and assault, and said it is taking steps to improve accountability and transparency within the service. Here at home, a report from Michigan's capital shows the Upper Peninsula's unemployment rate has dropped within the last year. This time last year, the UP was at 4.3% and now sits at 4.1%, which is lower than the state's current 4.2%. The UP job market is largely in the service and manufacturing industries. Experts say although the hybrid in-person work from home lifestyle is growing in popularity, rural places like the UP may have difficulty adjusting to that.
2 of the big drivers of our economy, or maybe 3 actually, when you look at healthcare, when you look at manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, and when you look at the service industry, those are really tough to do from a hybrid circumstance or with remote work.
Invest UP's new Rural Leadership Fellowship program with Northern Michigan University aims to grow the UP workforce. You can learn more about it at WZMQ19.com. Inflation skyrocketed during the pandemic, but a new report shows price hikes continue to ease and some items are even cheaper than a year ago. Christiane Benavides has the report.
They're cute. Many Americans, like Rosemary Schwer, plan to spend less this shopping season.
We told the kids we're going to go light this year.
But the plan doesn't always work out.
This is so my granddaughter. It's hard to resist, especially when you're here at these markets.
Shoppers are being helped by cooling inflation. The latest consumer price index shows a 3.1% increase in November compared to 2022, a slight drop from October and way down from last year's peak of 9.1%. Many popular holiday gift items are cheaper. Toys are down nearly 3%, computers decreased 4.6%, and smartphones are significantly less than last year. And prices for many essentials are easing too. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of regular unleaded is down 23 cents in the past month. Prices at the grocery store are also cooling, but rents continue to rise, and consumers are feeling the effects of sustained high inflation.
Especially when they look back before COVID.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says what cost $100 in November of 2019 costs almost $120 today.
That's a pretty dramatic increase for consumers.
Americans are also dealing with higher interest rates, what the Federal Reserve's been using to fight inflation. The Fed makes its next decision on rates Wednesday. Many analysts believe the board will once again leave them alone, since inflation is moving closer to the target range of 2%.
Your first warning weather forecast is coming up just after this break, plus a slow start to winter, but firefighters are already reminding people to keep the fire hydrants clear, how you can help out. And later, stepping into the Santa suit, the Dickinson County businesses participating in Citizen Santa after this break.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Shop hundreds of lazy boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
NASCAR Cup Series champion Ryan Blaney here. If you come in now, you get 12% off everything for the 12 days of Christmas at Menards.
That's right, we couldn't resist. In honor of number 12's big championship win, we're giving you 12% off everything for the 12 days of Christmas. Thank you, friends, for a great year. And please accept this as our Christmas gift to you. Congratulations, Ryan.
Merry Christmas and enjoy your 12% off everything.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. That's because at John's Auto, communication is the key to service. When we have your car, you can expect to be updated on what's going on. And Craig here will explain repairs in terms I even understand, and I'm only 9. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Marquette.
And don't forget, we're still your #1 source for a pre-owned vehicle in Marquette County.
John's Auto Marquette.
Home sweet home, right? You've spent a lot more time there in the last 3 years, and you may even work from home now. You check smoke detectors, furnace filters, and for carbon monoxide. Have you checked your radon levels? Radon is the leading cause of lung cancer behind smoking. Radon is an odorless radioactive gas present in all homes, and no family should be at risk when you can reduce your radon exposure. Test now, test regularly. Learn where to get a test kit at michigan.gov/radon. Sponsored by Eagle and MAB.
Superior Collision is seeking a certified auto body technician for full-time employment. Qualified candidates can call or apply in person, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasic.
Well, the waves could look very similar to this. Shout out to Shannon Kivy of 906 Images. This was taken at Black Rocks just a few days ago, but it could look very similar tonight and tomorrow. Frigid temps are on the way and here actually for the next 24 to 48 hours. As we take a look, 10 to 25 this evening. We could see some snow hanging out tomorrow in the morning, especially along that northeast coastline, but gradual sunshine is on the way. Those temperatures won't quite reflect that, but that's okay. I'll take that sunny sky any day. Drier conditions expected tomorrow night with partly cloudy skies. So I mentioned Lake Superior could look like that image we just saw because we've got some gale warnings and watches going until 10 a.m. for that eastern portion tomorrow, and then, until Friday, and then the western Let me start all that over. Western portion, there we go, until Friday at 10 a.m. and then this eastern portion going until Wednesday morning. But of course, that could change. Those waves expected to be very big and some, of course, gale force winds. So taking a look at our winter weather advisories that we've got going on at the moment. So we've got Elger County, Luce, and Schoolcraft counties up to 4 inches of snow. And of course, those gusts along the lake expectedly 35 miles an hour, 25 inland. If we see a heavier accumulation, it's going to be in the northernmost parts of those counties. And then making our way eastward here, we've got Chippewa County could see up to 3 inches of accumulation. But we'll take a look here at our snow outlook. As I was checking the latest data on Ontonagon, you could see close to half an inch, a little bit more than that by tomorrow morning, and then we'll accumulate just a little bit more. Like I said, most of that activity expected to end in the morning, but we've got cold temperatures and those roads could be very slick if you do have some precipitation. So expect that over here on that northeast coast. And then of course, we've got some strong winds still hanging out in the northwest. So current radar showing precipitation over here by Munising all the way to Sault Ste. Marie. All right, winds primarily coming out of the west. We'll expect these to eventually calm down tomorrow as we make our way through midnight, up to 30 miles an hour along the Keweenaw Peninsula. And then tomorrow, Munising, you could see about 13 miles an hour. If you saw there, Sault Ste. Marie could see up to 25, 30 miles an hour. And then taking a look at Thursday morning, we'll see those gusts returning with very windy conditions coming primarily out of the southwest for the majority of the day. And then that'll hang out until the evening where we could see gusts up to 40 miles an hour again. Right now, temperatures very chilly here in Marquette, 19. We've got mostly clear skies. We're expecting those clouds to decrease this evening. And then taking a look at the lows, the west interior, definitely very chilly. I'll have your 7 days coming up in 15.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Even though we're experiencing a pretty warm-ish winter so far, we know the snow will eventually pile up. Uba Ali explains how some firefighters could use your help to save time during a fire.
During a fire,
every second counts.
Access to hydrants like this is crucial.
Being able to connect to a hydrant as quick as you can, it can make a difference between life or death.
And although they are visible now, that all changes once it snows.
In the wintertime, when you get piles of snow, 3, 4, 5 feet of snow, the hydrants will be totally buried.
West Metro Fire Rescue District Deputy Fire Marshal Shelby Wolf says it can take firefighters 2 to 3 minutes to gain access to hydrants in the winter. Precious time in an emergency.
Fire grows it doubles in size about every 30 seconds nowadays. So if you think a couple minutes, you just think how fast that can grow.
That's where the Adopt a Hydrant program comes in.
More bodies to help fight the fire or to rescue somebody than having to shovel.
John Christian signed up and adopted this hydrant in his cul-de-sac. He's in charge of clearing 3 feet all around it so firefighters can quickly connect a hose.
If there's something that you can do for your community, this is the one time during the year to do it.
This is a screenshot of how many hydrants are in just a small section of New Hope. That's why Wolf hopes more residents in that city and Crystal sign up for the program.
They're actually a hero to us because they're shoveling the hydrants out for us.
And in return,
if we drive by and their hydrant is 3-foot radius clear, have access, they'll get a certificate from a local business.
A community coming together to help firefighters save the day.
If you're looking for ways that you can get involved, just check in with your local fire department. The holidays start early in retail stores all over the U.S., but for places like Bronner's Christmas Wonderland in Frankenmuth, orders are filled year-round, full of holiday goodies. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy spoke with the assistant manager in Bronner's Fulfillment Center to learn more about how they keep up with orders during the busy Christmas season.
Behind the scenes in the workshops of Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, nearly 2,000 orders are received, packed, and shipped every day. Connie Ruschow is the assistant manager in Bronner's Fulfillment Center. She says holiday orders start to pick up in October, and it only gets busier as they get closer to Christmas.
We have two ways for the orders that come in. We have our call center, which is our catalog department, and then we have all the internet orders that come in.
She says that this time of year, most orders can be packaged and shipped within 3 days, but personalized items can take an extra 4 to complete.
It takes our painters and penners time to hand paint those ornaments. So if your order has a personalized item, it does take a little bit longer.
Ruschow says that once December starts, the volume of packages they fulfill means they can't guarantee personalized items in time for Christmas. Once those special items are complete, they're combined with the rest of the order on a tray and prepared to be packaged.
And it's sent through our packers where they pack the items and then ship it out.
In the Bronner's workshop, there are over 50,000 different items and 6,000 different styles of ornaments, half of which are exclusive to Bronner's. Ruschow says one of the challenges they face this time of year is having enough people with the handwriting to help personalize and hand pen items.
The elves work tirelessly, but there's about 150 of us back here in the north.
The fulfillment team says it's never too early to submit your Christmas orders. You can always shop in person, but online, the earlier you submit those orders, the more likely you are to receive your Christmas decorations and gifts on time. Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News, Frankenmuth.
Tomorrow night, we'll have more on some of the Christmas traditions at Bronner's and the families who come back year after year. 'Tis the season for giving, and a Dickinson County community is really stepping into the Santa suit. WZMQ's Iron Mountain Bureau reporter Amy Doyle has a look at how local businesses are giving back with a movement called Citizen Santa.
Citizen Santa was organized by a welder at Boss Snowplow to make sure children in need get Christmas presents. It was started just last year, and so far over 200 kids have been adopted this year. One store owner has been giving back to Citizen Santa since it was founded by Tom Robitaille last year. She says she's finding a new way to give back this season.
Mrs. Deals was looking to give back to the community, and I came upon Citizen Santa, and we adopted numerous families. So this year I wanted to give back in a different way, which would be offering a discount for families to buy for other families.
Anonymous donors and local heroes have been stepping up to the cause. One local business has adopted over 30 kids, and he's making a day of the shopping and gift wrapping to include his family in the spirit of giving.
Fantastic that, it's done by somebody local. Tom does a great job making sure that it gets publicized and he finds people to adopt these kids. And I'm not just sending somebody some money that I don't know where it's going to. You know exactly the families that it's going to.
Another local business that's new to Iron Mountain this year is finding ways to get involved.
I'm an artist, so there was the one girl, she's 2, and she wanted coloring stuff, which is just exciting to share that with someone, 'cause I don't have any children.
This area can always use community contributions, especially from the people the community supports. If your business is successful, it's because the community is making it successful.
There are still around 45 children waiting to be adopted. Anyone can contribute by searching Citizen Santa on Facebook or email citizensanta@gmail.com. Amy Doyle, WZMQ 19 News, Iron Mountain.
Still ahead tonight, mapping it out, how an artist is reimagining traditional maps as something new.
Wait a second, you're saying I'm not invincible? So you can see me right now?
New tonight on CBS.
We are united, everybody's invited. We are united, everybody. Come on, come on.
The United Way of Marquette County kicking off its 80th year. United Way volunteers support our community, and you can help the United Way assist 26 local programs, funding nonprofit organizations focused on safety, unity, and endowment. Donate today by visiting uwmqt.org. A public service message from the United Way and WZMQ 19.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. D-E-P-R. Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale. Bipolar? Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
The Baxter Family Survival Guide.
Dad, you taught us to be self-sufficient.
And yet you're all still here.
Expect the unexpected.
You want money. Maybe you should do what other people do.
Get my own reality show. Dad, I'm trying.
Learn to adapt.
You're going to use a glass, right?
Fine, hand me the big one.
Last man standing.
You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
One of Manistee area schools' art programs is preparing for its next production this weekend. The Drama Club's production of Clue is a whodunit murder mystery based on the board game with familiar characters like Professor Plum and Mrs. Peacock. The middle and high school principal says fine arts are an essential part of the students' education and that extracurricular activities like the Drama Club prepare them for future opportunities.
Hands down, a student that is involved with something positive with school is going to perform better academically. Their experience with high school is going to be that much stronger because they're doing something that they want to do while they're here. It's just a very, very rich culture for the arts at this building.
Clue runs December 15th through the 16th at 7 p.m. and December 17th at 2 p.m. The school will also host an all-bands Christmas concert tomorrow at 7 p.m. These days, planning a journey is as easy as hitting go on a smartphone app. Traditional road maps of the past are nearly obsolete, but as Ian Lee reports, one British artist sees old maps as a new canvas.
These are all parliamentary boundary maps.
Most folks don't own a map.
This is absolutely stunning.
But English artist Ed Fairburn can't get enough of them.
What do you love about maps? I love the paper types, the textures. I love the stories that maps can tell.
Ed's journey begins with his pen, traveling in and outside the lines while drawing inspiration from each map's unique features.
I often think of UK locations like, it's like spaghetti on a plate. There's roads going in and out of everywhere. US locations are a little bit different.
American cities form grids.
I kind of see a lot of shapes and patterns in maps, almost like as kind of gestures or like choreography in the landscape.
Those streets, hills, and rivers morph into hair, cheekbones, and lips.
So you've got all these shapes that complement one another, but don't necessarily align perfectly.
His creative cartography is making its mark across the pond, featured at a Bend gallery in Denver. But it was Ed's transformations on TikTok.
I mean, it's just haunting, right?
That turned Catherine Ravel into a first-time art buyer. She owns 3 maps.
I came across a video of his process and was just completely mesmerized.
The map magic captured Catherine's kids' imaginations as well.
To be honest, they were a little bit delighted by a grown-up being a little naughty and drawing on maps. The idea that, they could get away with something like that, maybe a little inspired.
Drawing on the walls or something?
I think the idea of drawing on top of something that already existed was appealing to them, or maybe a little bit scandalous.
For Ed, it's an artistic adventure, with each piece arriving at its own destination.
Ed's work can go anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000 depending on size, complexity, and the time it took him to finish it. Some of us may be seeing some snow for our morning commute. Ariane has the outlook for us on the way. And the Toys for Tots shopping experience coming up in Marquette Township. That's our final story after this break.
Need to get from point A to point B quickly, efficiently, safely? The Marquette County Transit Authority is your ticket to ride. Friendly drivers operate clean, blue and white buses throughout Marquette County 365 days a year. Seniors 60 plus ride free every Wednesday. For information about routes and tickets, click on marktran.com. We keep you moving. Marquette Transit.
It's festive family fun.
Ski!
Live.
Ski launch!
Ski launch!
Pictionary every weekday.
Weekdays at 9 on WZMQ CBS.
You know, how you feel on the inside is just as important to me as how you feel on the outside.
Oh, Daddy.
I'm
grown up, everywhere in every way. Care and take care of you. You're my grown up, and I know you're there. I'm grown up, and you know I care. 'Cause it's you and me and me and you. So when you are okay or not okay, I'll take care of you.
I'm managing a business and we have a lot of kids. First National's online banking makes it easier to keep everything together. We can do mobile check deposits and our recurring bills are just automatically withdrawn. Our son is getting ready to head to school, and with our accounts linked, we can easily transfer him funds and we can monitor his spending. The thing that's most important to me is the time that we spend together as a family. Diligently choose the way that you spend it. The First National mobile app makes that happen.
1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12.
1 Adam 12?
1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12.
1 Adam 12, Roger.
That's right. There's only one Adam 12.
I'll remember that.
5 days a week.
Adam 12, weekdays at 5 on MeTV 19.1.
That winter weather advisory for Alger all the way to Chippewa counties. That's where we could see a lot more snow overnight into the morning. This goes until 7 a.m. Expect slick road conditions because our lows and current temperatures right now will be in that teens, 15, even down to 10 to 20 degrees overnight. And that could be for the morning as well. So take it easy on your commutes. Slow down. Be aware that those winds are going to be blowing the snow around, especially along that Lake Superior coast. Friends, make sure you bundle up those students as well. Even though we'll start with or see the 30s for tomorrow, it's going to be chilly and the sun will be out. So that'll be something nice to look forward to. Taking a look at our 7-day for Marquette, we are expecting some gusts on Thursday, but check out those temperatures staying in the 40s even into our Friday.
Finally tonight, the Marquette County Toys for Tots Drive came together this afternoon to start setting up for the holiday shop. Toy donations from all over the county were collected and brought to the Salvation Army Toy Shop right in the Westwood Mall. Over 90 businesses across the county had boxes to collect toys, and even more gave monetary donations, both of which have gone up since last year.
Is, you know, right away they get my letter and they're like, yes, send us a box, or otherwise they're sending me a donation in the mail so I can go shopping then. Like I said, it stays in Marquette County, and then donations stay here, monetary donations, and I shop locally.
The toys will be distributed to the children and families starting next Monday morning until Wednesday afternoon. I've been inside of there to see the whole setup before, and it is so cool. I mean, it used to be a mall, and it looks like a mall again with how many toys and donations they have. It's really, really cool and special.
That's awesome. Got a cool fun fact for you. Do you know who designed that logo?
I don't.
Walt Disney. He was friends with Bill Hendricks, who started the whole program.
The more you know. That's it for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
Erickson Jewelers will host a buying event in Iron Mountain from November 13th to the 15th. Sell your valuables for immediate payment